as for demonstrating purposes on how to change the oil on one of these Can-Am Defender Limiteds. This is a 2022 model. And for the demonstration purposes, I took the interior apart because this is how dealerships are telling people that it's easier to change the oil in them. It's more of a pain, I should say, in the models that have AC, because that's all your AC compressor right there. So I'll show you in the interior in a second, but your actual oil filter housing is right there. There's 3 bolts. Right there it is one of the 3. And they tell you to take it and take this supposedly easy access cover off in here, which just holds your ECU or ECM, whatever you want to call it. And then that screw, there's 2 right there, and 1 more right there that I took out. But there's actually more down here that I'm not going to take the time to take out anymore. But as you can see, if you pull this panel forward, you'll be able to see that light that I have on in there, which is next to that oil filter housing. But to do it easily from in here, you would have to take basically the seats out and then take that off and then take the panel off to easily access it and see it well. Well, for this I took the battery cover off, and you can see that light coming through in that hose. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Them 2 hoses are actually right in front of that cover for the oil filter, so it's not that much easier access. Even if you do take this stuff off, you'd still have to push the hoses out of the way. So you just grab your T30 and reach in there from underneath the box and take your cover off. Here in a second, I'll have a 2017 HD8 in here without AC, obviously. And same setup, but the filter housing is on the side of the motor and way easier to access. I'll show you that here in a little bit. All right, I got the interior all put back together from how I showed you guys that access panel that's supposed to make these Can-Am Defenders with the AC units on them easier to access the oil filter and cover, but it is definitely not the easiest way because of how much you have to take apart just to access the cover and filter. It's easier just to reach in here and do it slightly blinded from right here. That's the only reason I'm really doing this video of a how-to video. It's because I have a Defender and they're good units, but I never really thought of doing a video on them until I seen all the fuss about it, because you have to have one that's newer and has, more importantly, have the AC unit on it, because that changes where the filter is. A normal one, the filter will still be down, but it'll be on the side down there like this, so you'd pull it straight out. This one, you're pulling it out like this. So I put the interior back together, took the old cover off and the old oil filter out, which the cover's right here. Old oil filter. Took the drain plug out. Took all the oil out, let it drain for a while. Put the new crush washer on the drain plug that comes with the kit in these. And then lifted it up. That's just oil coming out of the belly pan from taking the filter housing off. But lifted it back up. or down, I should say. Clean this up quite a bit, put the new seal on there. That comes in the kit also. And I guess another, while I'm here, and everybody probably knows this, but put oil around that before you go to put it back on. Also, I already put the new oil filter in there, but for demonstration purposes, I should have videoed it. I'll show you with the old oil filter the trick to get it in there and how you should do it to make it easiest. So before you put the new one on, that rubber seal right there, you'll want to put oil on it also. So when you put it in, it'll actually go in, and then you want to push just a little bit, and you'll feel it like set in there. You can turn it and make sure it's in. The oil obviously will help you do that easier, and it's just better to do that. So for demonstration purposes, basically you want to take this in your hand like this, take your other hand and that cluster of tubes and hoses that's going down right there, you want to take your left hand and just push them back as hard as you can, and this you just take past where you'd put it in. Oops. Go past it a little bit, and then you'll be able to tip it in like this and push it in all the way. That is by far the easiest way to do these. There's definitely not an easier way, unless you like taking a bunch of stuff apart just to put it all back together when it's not needed. And just like that, created more work for myself. But yeah, now I'll put the cover on. I always put stuff in the same order I took it off. So that cover will go on, bolts will go in the same holes. That's cracked because you should just always crack it when you go to change the oil. I'll fill it up to its, I think it's called for 2.11, whatever, 2.1 quarts. And then check it. And then this one should be good. Ready to go. Something just I always do to know. I put 2 quarts in, and it's definitely enough to start it up, make sure everything's looking good, make sure obviously it's going to actually check the oil for the correct state. You want it flat, but these are pretty lenient. It's kind of min and max mark, as you'll see if you're trying to attempt this. So 2.1 quarts, if there's 32 ounces in 1 quart, 0.1 should be roughly 3 ounces. So it'd be 2 quarts and 3 ounces, 67 ounces. Not that there would be, but let's see. Check engine light, so everything should be good. Another client's unit, done. Look at that. Perfectly right in the middle between min and max. If you add just 2 quarts, it'll be right on top of that first bulge out. Then that 3 ounces really makes a difference, just to let everybody know. Because some people will be like, oh, you don't really need to add that. Well, it was at min, 3 ounces, you know, maybe a tad more, whatever. It's 2.11 quarts. It's right in the middle of that. So, there's the rest of the how-to. Check the air filter next like you do on every oil change, and that's about it. Won't grease it this time, but I know somebody will be in the comments saying you should grease it every time you do an oil change.